back to the Black and Yellow Podcast, where we discuss all things Pittsburgh Steelers. Sorry for the delay. It did take me a little while to get to this video. It's been one heck of a week. And I think that it is long overdue that I covered this this topic, the Steelers versus Seahawks post game. It was not pretty. Let's face it. It was not pretty. There are a lot of things that need to be fixed in order to beat the Patriots tomorrow. And then there's also a lot of things that they need to keep on doing. Their run defense was promising. That looked pretty good, but not... Okay, I wouldn't say promising. It looked better, but still not fantastic. Keep in mind that we did have a lot of injuries going into and early on in that game. So that definitely had a role to play. But first off, our offense was not good. We did have a touchdown, but let's face it, that touchdown wouldn't have been a touchdown if without the interception. I think it was an interception. Neither would one of our field goals be a field goal without the interception. So without the turnovers, we would have only had 3 points going into the half. And instead we had... Was it 17 that we had going into the half? I don't think we scored it all in the second half. Yeah, I think it was 17. So our offense didn't look pretty. Our defense obviously didn't look great. Patrick Queen had some nice plays, but also was hurt and kind of left a lot of open coverage. Jalen Ramsey had a pick and blocked field goal, but he let up a lot of 10-15 yard plays over the middle of the field that gave Seattle a lot of first downs. Having Joey Porter Jr. out was definitely seen there. Jabril Peppers wasn't quite ready to play yet. He should be right in the middle of just about everything this weekend. Derek Harmon, I don't know yet. I do know Joey Porter Jr. is out for this weekend. I'll get into that with my next video. So let's get into some takeaways and stat lines here for the Steelers. Starting off with one second here. Okay. Benton and Black need to switch. I think Kelly Benton needs to move over to the 3 tech, and Black's a nose tackle. He should be playing nose tackle. Payne Wilson, like I mentioned, did not have a very good game. You gotta, again, with the over the middle of the field stuff, you gotta be a little bit better than that. The blitz. One thing I forgot about the blitz. The blitz needs to get there. And I know with the injury of Alex Highsmith and then Nick Herbert the week prior, you're walking a little bit older. All the guys really getting a little older. Hasn't been the best pass rush. But I think they really need to get home at some point, and that was our big identity the last couple of years, was how good our pass rush was. The Steelers have shown these last 2 weeks that they've struggled with 2 high safeties. I guess whatever their play scheme is hasn't been great. So they haven't been able to even have anything remotely good with 2 high safeties. So they need to find a way to get them out of that formation, so they can get those plays over the middle of the field, plays running up the middle of the field. So that's a big necessity. Calvin Austin, particularly, but just wide receivers in general. DK Metcalf had a lot of drops. That Rodgers interception in the end zone was pretty much caused by Calvin Austin. He tipped the ball when it was supposed to be it was going to be a perfect throw to Pat Freiermuth. Ended up being picked off. And then Troy Fautanu did not play well. Gave up way too many pressures. Honestly, our whole offensive line didn't play well. They never do, but it was a bad week. Like I mentioned, good flashes from the run defense. We got a couple turnovers. We had one in the first week, but we had 3. We also gave up 4, but we had 3 turnovers. TJ Watt, even though he slowed down, he's still been good. Nick Herbig looked good. Queen played a little bit better this week despite his injury. Roger Jones had a little bit of a better game. And then obviously Jaylen Warren was amazing. Jaylen Warren was so good with the big 75-yard run, which ended up leading to the interception in the end zone. But Warren played a really good game. And then with Aaron Rodgers needs to be better. Like looking at his stat line here from last week, his completion versus attempts, 18 of 33 for 203 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. I think the 2 interceptions, the one obviously wasn't his fault, and the other one was just kind of a desperation, 4th down, need to complete this pass, and he just tried to kind of force it. So nothing too bad there. Jaylen Warren, 14 carries, 48 yards, rushing yards, for a 3.4 average, no rushing touchdowns, but he also had a lot of receiving yards too. Like that's a big 75-yard play was all receiving. More takeaways. Caleb Johnson needs to get off his special teams. She shouldn't be a kick returner, and I think the plan is right now is to go with Gainwell and Peppers, but still, like he can't be making those blunders in the NFL. The defense still giving up a lot of yards. They've given up the most or second most yards of offense in this last little in the last 2 weeks. Pass protection especially has been an issue. Having Deshaun Elliott, Joey Porter Jr. down. I don't think it's quite time to worry about DK Metcalf, but he does need to be better. But like overall, like I'm not overly panicked. I think this is still a team that could end up being a Super Bowl contender. I think there's a lot to be done. But I definitely could see how this could end up being a good season. Starting off with next week, Drake May. He's not the best quarterback. The Patriots team isn't a great team. If we can get out there and get to him and force him to make plays, and I think we'll do really well. Joe Burrow's out for 3 months. J.J. McCarthy will probably be out for the game in Dublin, which means that Carson Wentz will probably start week 4. So there's some promise kind of all around going into next week, going into the next couple weeks. So we will see how that works out. All right, that is it for now. I'm going to quickly upload this one, and then I'm going to throw it on to YouTube, and then start up the pregame, the preview for tomorrow's game. Peace.